What's up, dudes? ET13 and welcome back to another video. And as you can tell by the intro, we will be doing my Avengers Endgame review. And I promise I will keep no spoilers in this recording, so do not be worried about that. But since this is the largest movie of 2019, I should get an upgrade. Hey, editor! What do you want? Yeah, could you upgrade me to something a little more powerful for this review, please? Yeah, sure, whatever. Ah, yes, that's much better. And hey, the editor gave me legs. Now I can walk. Awesome. But anyway, to get back onto our Endgame review, and I apologize during the recording if I say Infinity War. I talked about Infinity War so much, I keep saying that. So, it is Endgame, and I do mean Endgame. But anyway, as we always do, I'm going to be cutting it down into 4 separate categories, starting with the acting and cast, how well they did, how the casting went. Next will be the writing and story. Generally, if the dialogue was good and the story was really good or not. Then it'll be the special effects. So it's a Marvel movie, so be expecting a decent review on that. And then finally, the direction and really just miscellaneous stuff. If I liked how the Russo brothers showed their artwork or not. Just generally like that. And then, of course, I'll give you a quick little audience review, and then we will call it a day. But hey, let's get on with that review, shall we?
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
So, the acting for this movie was amazing. As always, Marvel blew it out of the park with the acting part. And the casting, really good. Everybody they picked was pretty good, and there were some surprising people in there. I'm not going to spring out any specifics, but I was surprised on some of the people that were in this movie. But, overall, I enjoyed how everybody got an equal amount of screen time. All the character development was really well. Really and honestly, they hit it out of the park with this one. All the actors were great. The casting choices were great. The screen time they all got was great. Honestly, there's nothing I could say bad about the acting in this movie. I don't know why. I honestly can't think of anything bad. This was such a great and amazing feat for Marvel to pull off. So, out of 5 stars, I would have to give Avengers Endgame 5 stars for acting and cast. It's just amazing what they came up with for this movie, and I don't think it'll ever be topped by any other Marvel movie. But anyway, let's move on to the next subject.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last
So, to start off the script, like I said prior, it was really good. The dialogue, they said, it was all great. So, the script was phenomenal. Now, the story part, there were a lot of twists and turns in this movie I didn't see coming. Now, if you're like me and you're up to date, some of this you weren't too surprised at. However, there were still some oh my god moments. So that's good. And then, of course, there were some stuff that you didn't see coming whatsoever. So, again, Marvel did their best with that. Now, to continue on, in the first third of the movie, so the first hour, I'd say, it kind of felt like it was bogged down. It was a very slow suspension. It was just starting to rev up to being this huge movie that it is. So the first hour's a little boring for some people, so I could see that's a place where it could be flawed, is that first third of the movie, how the story just this kind of it's just there. Now it does, by the end of the movie it makes sense, but when you're watching it for the first time, it's not the greatest to enjoy, but it's still, like I said, it's still fun. Out of 5 stars, I'd give this 4.5.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
I'm gonna say it now, this will probably be the worst thing in the movie. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying this is the worst thing in the movie. Now, it's Marvel, so the CGI is good. However, in certain scenes and stuff, it still seems a little wonky and just out of place. Now, that's not a problem of the movies. It's because we don't have the technology yet. We can't do that stuff entirely so it looks photorealistic. So, it's not on Marvel or the movie, but I still have to put it in here and complain about it as a critic. Now, when we go over to my audience, it'll probably be different. But again, I mean, it was fine for what we had. Unlike Captain Marvel, almost every scene really felt like it was the CGI and all that was really good on it. And then, of course, practical effects. We've gotten to the point where makeup looks great on people. So really and honestly, it was great. Out of 5 stars, I would give this 4. So, like I said, this is probably the worst you'll hear from me.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
So, here we are to the final bit I'll be reviewing until I give you my overall out of 5-star rating. So, this is just miscellaneous stuff like lighting, camera angles, and all that. And really and honestly, this movie was just, it didn't flaw whatsoever. Everything in it went well. There was not a single thing it did wrong, except for, like I said, the first third of the movie was a little slow, and some of the CGI was a little wonky. That's it. The story was great. This is honestly one of the best Marvel movies ever. Yes, one of the best. Now, without giving too much away, I have to say that I don't know if personally I enjoyed it as much. But that's just me. You go watch it if you think you like it. And really and honestly, the camera angles were great. The lighting was great. Everything about this movie was great. So, I don't know why I added this part, but miscellaneous out of 5 stars, I give it 5. So, there you have it. That is my whole review except for 2 things. So let's bring those up.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
And as you've heard from the last 8 minutes of me just rambling on and how this movie's done well and how it's great, here's just my quick summary of what I just said. Everything's great about it. That's legitimately it. Everything's great about it, other than the fact that the story slows down in the first third of the movie, and it quickly picks up, and I understand why, from a storytelling point of view, they did that, and then the CGI and special effects wasn't the greatest at certain points. Now, at certain points, the reason for that is because we don't have the technology yet. So essentially, this movie has hardly nothing wrong with it. But from what little I brought up, I would have to say out of 5 stars, I give this movie 4.5 stars. Like I said, it's a perfect movie. Best way to close out the MCU of what we know for right now, and I think that this was a great way. But anyway, let's get on to my quick audience review, and then we'll wrap things up.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
Now, as always, this section is more of my personal opinion. I don't look at it objectively. I look at it from an entertainment point of view. And without giving anything away, I didn't like the ending, personally. So, it was such a great movie, but the soundtrack I personally didn't care for a whole lot. I didn't like the ending, and there's just a character or two I felt like should have got a little bit more screen time. So, that's all I have to complain. So, out of 5 popcorn bags, and again, I know this was short and quick, but this is all it needs to be. I give this also 4.5 popcorn bags. I that I even though I don't care for it, again, I can see as a person going to a movie why they would do something like that. But hey, thanks for watching my review of Avengers Endgame. Please note that this is my opinion. So if you have a different opinion, comment down below without giving away spoilers for other people. Please, let's keep it spoiler free. If you don't, just give people warning and make sure they don't see it right off the bat. But comment down below what you thought of the movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? And where would you put this in out of the 4 Avengers movies? Would you say it's the best? Would you say it's the worst, or what would you say? I'd love to hear your opinion. If you're new to the channel, we mainly do Godzilla, but I'm starting to do more movie reviews. Marvel, DC, kinda. Transformers, Alien, Predator, Terminator, and more. So if any of that's your thing, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. Now, the coding that the editor put in to make me look super powerful is about to wear off, so I guess this is a goodbye. So, as always, part of the journey is the end. And please, everybody take a moment and have a moment of silence for the one and only Stan Lee. Because without him, we wouldn't have Marvel like we do today. So, see you guys.